was a two-headed Vic.
Yeah, I knew it.
It's a new Sportz. Turquoise's gone, but she was here with the sexy shoulders and the separation. She gets down in the blocks. She's fine down in the blocks.
You're right. She is.
My favorite damn Canadian.
Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you, I love that. She's sweet. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
And she works out. I tell everybody, she is more than just eye candy. And we got to say thank you, Turquoise, for coming through.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to have her here in the studio. She's got stuff coming up, too.
Yeah. Yeah, she is extra busy. It's one thing I have to admit about her. I know everybody goes like, okay, all right. She has her hands constantly on the grind. She really is always on the grind, no matter what. So, the part I'm going is, if it's
she's an athlete. That's why she fits into,
right.
She's a good sports rep.
Right.
Too bad she had to run out because she's such a good sports rep. Because we say that, that's why I reminded people, no, she works out every day.
Yes, every day.
She's on a regimen.
Yeah, she's going to, we're talking
She's
about.
an athlete.
We're talking about lingerie league football. Whether that's serious or not to you, she has to still go out and work out.
That's right.
She radio station. She just did some interviews with WNBA LA Sportz, Candace Parker and the crew. She actually covers events on our behalf as well. Then she does the workout. And then she has to do other disciplines, record video, upload video. She did a video with Sylvans, the comedian, did it herself, so she never stops. So she's a force that's coming, definitely. All right, it's time for that sports, you guys. Guess what? I can't say it no louder. New sports means new information and new drama. And I'll say this over and over again. I feel bad about Derrick Rose because he's probably going to carry the weight of some considerable blame because when you have 8 seconds to go, is it the coach who called the wrong play, the last shot, isolate, try to go one-on-one with a defensive monster called LeBron James? I feel bad because it was so predictable, and LeBron can cover. The question is, did they throw away that opportunity when they could have closed out, won the game? Was that the best play available, even though there are limited options, Mario? What do you think?
Well, you wonder. Even though, Vic, there were so many other opportunities leading up to that time.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley said it. He said it looked like was being made clear.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens. The Chicago Bulls are an exceptional team.
Right.
Against a different group of people, I bet you other players are then better able to step up.
Right.
But it's probably harder to step up when the person you have to step up against
is a beast.
It's just telling me how it's harder to step up. So that's why I say sometimes when you get the best going against the best,
right,
then you get to see times, where people frustrate people more than you think,
right,
less than you think.
Yeah.
It's just things you just remember, some of those issues, some of those games that everybody remembers, even with Michael Jordan,
right,
John Starks got off.
Right.
Or some of those games, we forget how close and how tight some of those things were. So I tell you one thing, I kind of think the handwriting's on the wall.
Right.
I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know what he felt the alternatives were. It seemed like, I don't know. After a while, because it didn't. There are times when it looked like there was absolutely nobody who wanted to even shoot. They, to me, were getting open shots sometimes, and they would pass the ball. I'm like, I said, you can't pass the ball if you have that shot. You have to shoot that.
Right. Now, and I know, Mario, and here's the part where I said, here's the quote where Derrick Rose wanted the ball with 8 seconds to go. He fits the mold of,
and he should have the ball with 8 seconds to go.
Now, here's the question where they say youth and experience is separated from, here, what's the best plan? The predictability is if LeBron's going to say, you're going to try to do what I expect you to do, which is what? Try to get around me. And the difference is when you do get around me, I am on a team with D-Wade that we come and chase you after you get around us. So should he have had a different play set up where he comes off the ball, Mario, or did he pick the wrong type of shot?
I don't know. Because the first thing, you just said it, Vic. Against the Heat, first of all, against anybody, he's a hell of a person to pull to track all the coverage. You really would want to have him throw it to someone who's a good
8 seconds.
You want a good set shooter,
right?
You want to make the penetration, pass it out to the good set shooter,
right?
And let them take the good, high percentage shot at the basket. That's what most people would do because you figure he's going to attract all the attention, and and in that same way,
right.
I don't expect him. Okay, that's asking a bit much. No offense.
Right.
And who you want to pass, even Carmelo and I'll name all the great scorers. So you're gonna pass the ball in the final seconds,
right.
with LeBron and everybody. I'm just saying in the playoff situation where everybody's up on another level.
Right.
So it's just a whole lot of defense coming at you.
Yeah, and what do we always say? In 8 seconds, you can move the ball to 2 or 3 players
that's right.
without dribbling. If you get the movement of your players to move, what it does, it keeps people from settling back. And the movement to run the ball off, whether it's a pick or not, I said not everything has to be schemed around picks because they take a lot of time to develop. But if you have movement of your players where you can pass the ball, it really keeps your defense a little bit more honest. But if you get to sit back and wait and relax, you eliminate the other 3 or 4 players because they're being coveted. And they know how – and here's the other part. How often do we see Rose rise up to shoot almost a three-pointer over LeBron? Low percentage choice of a shot. That's what I'm saying
because of those variables. That's why I thought it more to use him as a decoy.
Yeah.
And maybe – but you know what the thing about it? In previous games, I've seen other people on the Bulls who were taking, those shots.
Right.
In these games, it really looked like, I don't know if it got into their head,
right?
But it really looked like people weren't even willing to take the shots when they were presented to them.
Absolutely right.
And that was to a degree that was that was the first time to me I saw it like that.
Right, I did too.
I was like, wow, you had an open shot. You didn't want to try that?
Right. I think they got – see, I was talking to a friend of mine. I said you really are seeing what they call the younger version of what they call the earlier Lakers, Kobe and everybody else, versus where you see Miami and all the players. It's Kobe and everybody else who are used to the man saying, I'm going to dribble, I'm going to take the ball, you guys just sit and wait.
Right.
That's
well, here, Vic, and part of that, Vic, come on, let's be fair. Let's really be fair. Because this is why I really respect the Chicago Bulls and even Oklahoma, who's making the same kind of mistake. I'm just totally convinced it's your youth.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what, it's the playoff, it's the finals.
Right.
Come on, that's a gut check.
Yes.
And even the best people are affected with the travel, all the little things getting to you, the food that you're eating, trying to keep right in the head, focus while you're dealing with this and that. Meanwhile, Oklahoma's dealing with natural disasters in their home place.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what kind of distraction can you have with these kind of situations? So I really have my hats off to all these young teams because to me what you're seeing is that all the young folks have appropriate jitters to me.
Right.
Or to some degrees they show these moments of, loss of the thinking, the stress, whereas teams like Dallas Heat even more so, the teams that are more established, that's what you're seeing in the tight games. Yeah. They can maintain their cool. Look at the specific players who keep their cool.
Right.
Jason Kidd, Nowitzki. See, that everybody, even, LeBron, Wade, they should be there. Even Bosh rising to the occasion. What you're seeing to me is the seasoned veterans. But that in the next year, the year after, and the next year, it's going to be Oklahoma, Chicago, Memphis Grizzlies, maybe Indiana. The mix has been set, Vic.
Right. And I'm not criticizing the Bulls. What I'm looking at is, he says, look, Miami said, here's your opportunity. And it's the best condition. 8 seconds to go. Overtime is flirting with you in the face. And I said, think about it. I'm sitting up here going, dude, you guys got this. This is going to be easy. Easy money on this one. It didn't take place.
I always wonder, Vic, first of all, is that the play that the coach called, or was it that the coach called the play, and then of course, then at the point where you had to make choices, you did something. That's what I'm always wondering, especially with basketball, because it changes immediately. Right. I have trouble believing sometimes that that's the play the coach called.
Yeah, and I believe once he put it in Derek's hand, I thought the next play would be, where is my higher percentage of shot and backup? When he goes to the rim, he's got big guys there. They do good rebounding. Right. So at that point, I'm going, if I'm taking it to the hole, you guys crash the boards. We got height. They have speed, but we have bulk. We can actually probably could get a second opportunity.
Well, you would think so. Hey, but Vic, you know what? Okay, I'll say this again with these games. It was amazing how unoffensive, like, Joakim Noah looked at times to me. I mean, dude, go work on a short-range jump shot or something, okay? I mean, do you only have a slam dunk or layup?
Well, you're hitting another point that they say. If you listen to the coach, one thing they say is Boozer was not making his presence felt down low.
And they needed him because he has offense.
Right.
He has offense.
Noah,
Joakim should at least have a little Vic, at least some.
Look, Chris Bosh is going, I can't compete with you down low. I can bring you out and do my offense. Now, Carlos, you're trying to go backwards and do what they call, fadeaway shots too? That's not really his strength.
I just think, watch for Joakim Noah. I think he will expand his game, Vic. Yeah. He'll be, once he adds just a little bit of the short-range jumper or just a little bit of offense right in there. Right. Because to me, it's just that if he couldn't slam it, he had no offense whatsoever. And he needs to be able to at least give like 12, 16 points consistently. That would really up his ante. Well, I think he's capable. I think he's capable of it totally, too.
Yeah, I agree. And remember, the one thing I like about it is that I love the idea to see him leading on fast breaks.
Because that's what I like it, too. It's just that he had no offense other than a layup.
You got Luol Deng, okay? You got all these other cats that's supposed to step on scoring. Corey Brewer.
I'm just saying
ran away from shots.
No, that's what I'm saying. It would just increase his game. Right. Look, in the coming years, we'll see. Yeah, I think he is going to add a little bit of an offensive component. To his game because it seems like he's so capable. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Mark.
And I kept looking for other people to at least be threatening offensively. No, and I said this is the worst I've ever seen it. Right, where people seem to want to do no offense.
Right. I think the part where they say now you understand why they say a Derrick Rose is a Derrick Rose. He says, "Look, I want the ball." Everybody else is usually playing roles where they say, "If it's scripted for me, I'm lost." I said, movement and motion is your key. If you want to offset being predictable, you guys move around while he has that 8 seconds to give him opportunity and choices. And then your biggest advantage is you can crash the boards and then have that backup. But just I'm going to rise up over LeBron, the athletic monster of the NBA, and it's a live or die at that situation. I said, that to me was not the shot to take. But leads us into the next question here. With what LeBron did yesterday, because he made his presence felt, right now, would you say he's the MVP of this series?
Yeah.
Hands down, right? Not even close.
Pretty much.
No, Chris Bosh has done some things.
You know what? It's really going to come down to him versus Nowitzki as the MVPs for the whole thing.
Right.
And right now, see, what I like about it, because I've always liked LeBron. Right. See, I'm now in the – somehow became in the minority when I still continue. I always thought he was a class. I still do. Right. Even though I didn't particularly like the whole. Right. Now it wasn't it wasn't that big a deal. But I've always liked him, and he has stepped up in a way to shut everybody up. Yeah. And the silence is deafening of the critics who are shut up. It's like it's deafening silence of you guys. I'm just amazed. Right. And you just have not one damn thing to say. Right. You act like, and what's so bad, it's almost like you can tell it's hurting some people to have to say how good a job he's doing. Right. Because they actually stay away from it.
Well, let me ask you this, because there's a lot of people who don't want to see Miami win. I said, really, what you're saying is this, because I don't know anybody who says I don't want to see Chris Bosh or D. Wade and the rest of them not win. Is it more that they're going like this? If it was just Chris Bosh and the rest of them, we would love to cheer for Miami. But we're really cheering against LeBron, not the rest of the team.
Just like I'm not a Kobe fan. Right. I'm not a Kobe hater. I'm just not a Kobe fan. Right. But there are people who are anti-LeBron.